What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. It is the Sunday episode of the Crawford Chronicles. Thank y'all
Ah,
for tuning in. Almost did it, dude. I almost did it. A lot better mood. I'm in a lot better mood than I should be, given what transpired over the weekend downtown. The fellas. First, before I do that, I'm PK. Homer Chris, Subi Bones Bryles. Fellas, how are y'all doing?
so it was a pretty busy weekend. You know, uh, the game on Friday, not just the Astros game, but the our game did not go as to planned. So we kind of got the weekend off to a rough start. The Astros didn't help out last night or today. But we had a pretty gangster game of wiffle ball going out in the front yard with a bunch of the kids in the neighborhood. So I definitely made the weekend worth it because checking out the Astros was definitely a lot more disappointing than you would hope. So, Browse, how was your weekend?
Well, I think you said it, buddy. It's the for baseball. This was a pretty crappy weekend. Our boys in Little League did not squeak one out on Friday, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, Chris, instead of reviewing all the stats and going over the game, I'm going to go home and I'm actually going to watch it. And I sat down at 11 o'clock at night and I watched the entire game, and I regretted it. And then I also regretted watching the entire game on Saturday. Obviously, we're going to get into it, but Colt and I got to go. We had a good time at the game, but as far as the actual score and what was presented on the field, not so much fun. And then we'll get into today as well. But other than that, a lot of rain, a lot of bad baseball, and it was a weekend. PK, talk to us, brother. How was your weekend? Give us some uplifting news, something.
Well, I think we found a house, so that's probably the best news.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, PK.
Yeah, if all goes well, I will be joining the ranks of League City. So
there we go, man. That's what I'm talking about. I told you.
We'll see how it goes, man.
Join us, upper class.
Yeah. But no, that was personally that's the best news of the weekend, right? Honestly, so we'll see how that goes. But dude, look, I'm gonna tell you how bad it got on Saturday, and this is not a slight to NHL and the playoffs because the NHL playoffs are a whole different monster.
It's fun.
I turned on the NHL playoffs on Saturday. Okay, in the middle of the Astros game, and also the Rockets. I mean, I'm not a big NBA guy, but I couldn't even watch that. So we've got quite a bit to discuss, man. It was, I think we all went 2-1, right? I believe we all did, so we all lost on this series, which I know we'll get into in a minute. I think me and Browse are still trailing Chris by a full series. And I believe that me and Braz are still over. So that needs to change. It's actually quite embarrassing. But we'll get into that later. Like we talked about it, or I talked about it on one of the recaps. I'm sure we've talked about it on one of our episodes. I honestly don't know what the fix is for this team. But besides the obvious, right? You don't have any pitching. The offense decides not to show up. They showed up to, today late, right, for a mini rally. Right. They did it on Saturday, right, with the Shea Whitcomb bomb, and I think in the 8th inning, I think it was last night.
Yep.
And then all just for today, all for just a 3-run top of the 10th. The bases clearing double in the 10th. After you walked, after you see, what did you do? You hit Ramon Urias, you walked a batter, right? This is Brian King in his 2nd inning of work. And then you can't, like, Brian King takes the loss today officially, but Burroughs, I believe, had a perfect game going until he couldn't get the 3rd out in the 4th inning. I think he retired like 14 batters in a row, I think is what it was. And then, or 13, something like that. And then just could not get that last out that he needed to get through the 4th. And it just kind of melted down, right? Jordan is having it, and I'm going to recap all this. We're going to recap all this, but Jordan's having an early MVP season. He leads the majors in home runs. I think he hit was it 9th or 10th? His 10th. Hit his 10th today, right? I mean, he is, just a monster. And the offense is not really backing it up now. Again, they rallied late. I believe Paredes had a double or a single to tie the game, two run single. But I say all that to say is I don't know what the real fix is besides obviously you need better pitching. But I think, man, dude, it's so frustrating to watch our starters not go deep in these damn games.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. I mean, like, I thought I was going to have at least somewhat of a bragging right today because Burrows did come out looking amazing all the way until he got through four, got I think the first 2 outs in the fifth inning, and then he gave up the hit. And then I don't know what it is, but the second he started pitching out the stretch, it was done. They ended up putting up 4 runs that inning. And you went from Burrows really had a fantastic start, so now he gave up 4, and of course those 4 that he gives up makes his line score look less than amazing. And then, but I mean, like if you paid attention to the game, I mean, you had 3 hits going into the 8th inning. Again, you scored 1 run, which was the Taylor Trammell triple, and then I believe it was a Correa sac fly. But again, and Browse and I talked about this last night. I mean, like, it is great that Jordan leads the league in home runs, but how many of those home runs are solo shots?
Yeah,
I would say probably at least half. I want to know about all of them, but
it feels like all of them.
I would say probably close to half of them. I mean, so like your offense sputtered against Liberatore, who, I mean, like, you couldn't touch. I mean, so and then you come back, you get a rally to tie the game. And then, you have the complete freaking debacle. That was the 10th inning. You had Bryce Matthews come in as a pinch runner only to get picked off.
God, it's terrible.
And then you had that the rundown that Dustin Harris, newly acquired Dustin Harris, got into. I mean, it was just like, when I saw that, and that's where I come up with the title of the episode. It's like, man, these guys are just finding new ways to just give away games. I mean, the bullpen didn't look terrible. I mean, you had Brian King technically, like PK said, technically take the loss. I mean, but it's just like, it's just almost comical. Like, you turn the game on and you're like, okay, pitching was good, got no hitting until you got down 4-1. I mean, so it's just like, at what point is this offense going to click? Now you're 8-16, 8-14, something like that. That's your record now.
8-15, 8-15.
8-15. So, I mean, granted, you're not the Mets yet, but you're, telling them to hold your beer because you're about to take that worst record in the majors, away from them. But yeah, I mean, it's another disappointing game. It's another one of those games where once it gets to 4-1, I'm flipping back onto something else. Actually, that's when I went outside to go play wiffle ball with the boys. So, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Browse.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough all weekend, and I led off saying, the Friday game I wanted to actually go home and watch, and I watched the replay of it, and that was super frustrating all the way around, from pitching to lack of being able to hit in key situations. And even the defense, we've brought it up a couple of times. On Saturday, I was with my son there at the ball game, and I'm like, hey, you see what just happened over there? This is why you talk to each other in the field. And this is why balls don't drop on the grass. That's what you have to do. These are very simple principles that the Astros right now cannot handle. And I don't understand it. It's like, the guys are hitting. I mean, we're scoring runs. It's not like we're losing games, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, stuff like that. The guys are scoring runs. I mean, we scored 4 on Friday. Saturday, we scored 5, lost 7-5. And then today they scored 4 to tie it up and then got, 1 more in extra innings. So it's not like these guys aren't actually putting runs on the board. It's the problem right now is the pitching. That is 100% what it boils down to. I mean, I don't care. You can blame it on IL stints. You can blame it on, the pitching coaches. You can blame it on whatever you want. But these guys are not in sync at all, especially the bullpen. I sent both you guys that little meme or whatever that was, what are the biggest threats to, world peace right now? And Brian Abreu came in number 1 at 41%. He beat Xi Jinping and Putin out. So I'll just say that it's like, our bullpen ERA is not only the worst in baseball, but like right now our rotation, I think, is 31st. So it's like, what are you going to do? I mean, these guys have got to get it together one way or another. They have got to get it together. And that's the only thing I could say about that. It was a very tough weekend for the Astros. It was a good weekend for the Cardinals. I'll say that. They traveled very well. There were tons of Cardinals fans at the stadium. But that's all I got.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mason Wynn is from Kingwood. I mean, I don't know how many freaking times I heard that over this 3-game series. I mean, cool hometown kid comes in. He did rake this weekend. So I mean, it was good for him. But look, dude, you're running out on the mound. McCullers, Burrows, Arrighetti. Now Arrighetti had a good start, right? He's gonna pitch this week. What was the other guy? Bolton, right?
Yeah.
Peter Bolton.
No, Lambert.
Peter Lambert. And that's, I'm not going to sit here and try to think of the other guy, but that's what you're running out on a team that is supposed to compete for division. Now, we know Hunter Brown is hurt. We know Dana Brown talked pregame today and, says it's May or June likely for Hunter Brown. Cool. I don't think that's the case, but
I'm sorry.
They also told us that Tucker had a bone bruise for 4 months. So like, I don't believe what anything that comes out of Dana Brown's mouth. So I get, Hunter, we have to run out these guys because Hunter Brown's hurt. Okay. Understood. Imai, whatever's going on with him, can't adapt to the culture. He's got arm fatigue after 8 2/3 of an inning. McCullers is what McCullers is. He's a 4-inning guy. Like that first start was an aberration, right? It was a turn back the clock night. I don't think we're going to see very often a 7-inning LMJ sighting. Burrows can't get past the 4th inning, right? Like you chalked him up as the number 2 starter coming out of Florida. Now, granted, his numbers in Florida kind of like back that up, right? But he's clearly not a number 2 guy. He is probably a number 5 guy. Arrighetti, hopefully he can, piggyback the first good start that he had, right? He's going to go, I think, tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow or Tuesday, whatever it is. But you got like Lambert in there pitching. Like this is our rotation. This is what, and these guys can't get out of the 4th effing inning. Like that's the thing. So your bullpen goes 3-4 deep every game, and those guys aren't good either. Tang, I'll tell you what, dude. Tang has been pretty damn good. Like he's been pretty damn good. King, this is probably his worst outing, I think, probably this season. De Los Santos, we saw what De Los Santos did in the 2 games against Colorado, the back-to-back saves. So these guys can like put it together, but when they're being called on every single night and the 5th inning, right, to come out and bail their starter out because the starter can't go deep, you have guys that like shouldn't probably be getting multiple starts at the time. These are like, it's just spot starts. These are spot start guys. And like if you had, and I don't want Fromber back, but if you had a HB and a Fromber at the top of your rotation, right, then you can live with the Burrows in that 4 spot going 4 innings. You can live with an LMJ in a 5 spot going 4 innings, right? And then whatever the hell you get from Christian Javier or Imai, whatever it is, right? At least you had 2 dogs at the top of your rotation that you know that on those 2 games, those guys are going to go 5 or 6 innings. So I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. I don't know what pitchers you go out and get. I mean, you see a lot about Giolito out there, but it's like, dude, like you pissed away your offseason by in hindsight's 2020, right? Because we sat here and we talked about like how good this rotation was during spring, and their numbers were locking down. But dude, it's such a piss poor product.
No, you're good. I mean, you're absolutely right. And I mean the hitting's been, the hitting's been asked too. I mean, like when you're putting up, I feel like you can absolutely blame it on the pitching if you put up 7 runs and still lose. But like you looked at last night's game, yes. Did we score 5 runs? Yes. But we discussed it last night. You got a 3-run bomb in garbage time.
Yeah.
That 3-run bomb wasn't going to help you regardless. I mean, it made the box score look a little bit better. But I mean, like the game before that, they lost like what 9-1 or 9-2.
Yeah.
I mean, so
It was
the
bad on
offense is
Friday.
dog. The offense is dog shit. You've got Diaz. I don't know why he keeps being trotted out to the lineup. He's hitting under 200. I like Bryce Matthews, but dear God, can we stop trotting him out there? I mean, like the kid's hitting 107. The last time I looked at, his batting average. It's a total collapse on both sides. It's like both sides can't get in sync. Like tonight's game or today's game. I mean, that offense was completely anemic all the way into the 8th inning. I mean, Burrows had to be perfect because your offense wasn't doing it. You had 3 hits going into the 8th inning. 3.
Yep.
And then, I mean, so it's a whole philosophy that has to change. I mean, we saw one little blip of a 5-game stretch where I'm like, oh man, this offense is back. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then you talked about the pitching. Besides, the only guy you can call upon in AAA right now is Jason Alexander. Everybody else is up here. And that's it. Ethan Petco's down in AA. I mean, so I don't think he's ready. Miguel Uola, I don't think he's quite ready yet. I mean, but that's it. So, you're going to have to trot out, Burrows, McCullers, and then insert TBD. Maybe I'm hoping Arrighetti kind of, becomes a staple in the rotation now. Hopefully he can build off his last start against Colorado. I mean, but dude, it's tough to watch. Like, it really is. I mean, it's at the point right now, they get down 3-1 and it's pretty much, you can put a fork in it. I mean, and like you saw today, even if they do fight back, they're just going to fight back to give it right back over the next inning. I mean, so, and again, I understand. It's April baseball, right? They got to a real bad start last season, but I don't think it looked this bad on both sides of the baseball or both sides of the diamond, offensively and pitching. Where last year it was great pitching and no offense. Right now it's just a big bucket of crap is what it is right now. Abreu's out there. He has he has the last couple starts or his last couple outings were pretty good. And then he goes back to being Abreu, gives up a 3-run jack. And it's like, there he was. I thought we lost him for a second. So it's tough, man. I don't know. I mean, there's no top prospect down in, AA that we can call up to inject some life in here. Now you've got Loperfido that's on the IL. So now you have to go out there and make a deal for a guy that Dana Brown drafted. Yeah, he drafted him in 2019 when he was with the Braves organization. This guy is, he had some time with Atlanta. I mean, but they thought so highly of him is that they traded him to Boston. So,
Chicago.
Yeah, man.
Was he the Chicago guy? I thought he was a Chicago guy. The White Sox.
No, I thought
he's a White Sox.
Maybe
they also
the White Sox.
They also got an infielder too.
That's what I'm talking about. Brandon Shoemake, the guy that they just traded for. So
that guy.
He was originally up in the Braves system, and then he got his chance to start, and couldn't really do anything. And I think he was traded to Boston. I forgot who Boston traded to Atlanta. I think it was like a shortstop or a second baseman, whatever. Needless to say, they claimed him off, or they traded to him. Was he with the White Sox? He was playing with the White Sox.
No, I was thinking about Harris. The other guy.
Yeah, Harris was the White Sox. I want to say, wherever, or they got him from the Yankees. So this is this kid's 4th. The Astros will be his 5th team already since he's been in the majors. Now, what he can do, maybe, I don't know, but I know offensively his numbers don't look great. So he's going to be another guy that you'll stack next to another not so offensive, weapon in Nick Allen that we're going to trot out there because we have another guy that is now living in IL land. And I'll stop talking now.
Chris, what do I say about players that bounce around from team to team?
That you probably get tramp stamp tattoos of them because you're all about them.
Yes. I love those guys.
No, I mean, a wise man once told me that if they've been on multiple teams via waivers, they're probably not good baseball players.
That's correct.
Yeah. And to your point about
stamps too.
Yes. Has 4 of them.
Probably. But to your point on the offense, Saturday's game was kind of a microcosm of what's been going on. I mean, if you look at it, like we were down, I want to say 4-1, like pretty much the entire game. And then in the 8th inning, they walked the bases loaded, 0 outs. Christian Walker comes up to bat. What does he do? Hits into a double play. We score 1 run, and very next play, ground ball, easy out to first, 3 outs. We had bases loaded, no outs. We score 1 run. That's it. That is pretty much how our offense has gone this whole series. And it feels like, I mean, other than it felt like the entire road trip too. I mean, it was pretty bad. So these guys got to figure something out. And like you were just saying, like whatever Dana Brown thinks he's got cooking is not going to work. Harris and whoever and anybody he's picking up off the dollar store bargain bin, that's not going to work out. They're going to have to figure something out. And there's no free agents out there, by the way, that are going to work out. I mean, I've looked at least some of the offensive ones, and I'm like, unless you guys got something better than I do, then please let me know. But I don't see anybody in there that's even worth picking up. Pitchers, I mean, PK, you were talking about it. Giolito's one that I would like to get, but who knows what his price tag is at this point. There were rumors out there, obviously, of old Charlie Morton coming out of retirement to go play for the Astros. That's not going to happen. So who else is actually out there that we could go get to hurt or to fix this hurt team to just at least give us something? Because Chris, you nailed it, man. There's nothing in the minor league system right now that is going to inject this team with any kind of energy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a reliever, I mean, there's always what's his name, Michael Kopech. I think I'm not saying he. That's a guy you can go get him. That'll help kind of like even out your bullpen. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised teams are still pitching to Yordan. I mean, because if you know that the rest of that lineup ain't going to do dick, why are you throwing the ball? Why are you pitching to Yordan? I would just walk
the Barry Bonds treatment.
Yeah,
every time.
And be like, okay, let the rest of tell the rest of the lineup, you guys are going to have to beat me because we're not. Or they may just be like, listen, if he hits a bomb, it's going to be a solo check.
That's right, because nobody's going to be on base. Nobody get on base anyway.
Yeah. Well, you notice they dropped Altuve down to the 3-hole today and put Correa up at the leadoff spot just because Altuve wasn't doing anything up there. These last home runs that Yordan's been hitting. That's the whole thing. He hasn't had anybody in front of him. Saturday, I swear to God, there were so many times where Altuve was the leadoff guy every single inning, and he just rolled one over or hit a pop-up or struck out. And then what happens next? Oh, well, Yordan hit a home run. He hit a double. He walked, and then, he got a single after that. It's like, come on, man. You could have at least scored him twice, if not 3 times in that scenario. Well, but we couldn't even do that because he couldn't even get on base.
But like you can move Yordan down to 3 and at least give the team, give him 2 opportunities to get on base. I mean, you're waiting. You're asking Altuve, who has completely forgotten how to be patient at the plate like he was at the beginning of the season, right? Could be because he's pressing to get on base. Who knows?
Good
right?
point.
Who knows?
Good point.
And you replace him with Correa at number 1. I mean, Correa's been struggling. He's struggling at the 5-6 spot. Like, you think putting him up at 1? I mean, I don't know. You don't have an option to go leadoff, right? Paredes could have been if he was Paredes of last season. But he was 0 for 20 before he got his double or single today. Like, he's not hitting the ball, right? And I think I think Chris brought it up last night that me and him talked a little bit offline on Friday, right? About maybe it's the consistency of he's getting with playing time. I mean, I don't know from a mental standpoint, like how involved a player is if they are consistently going back and forth between DH and playing the field, like how in tune with the game, if they're 100% DH, if that's not what they're used to in like Paredes. I mean, like he did have a comment, I think it was Saturday, maybe it was after Friday night, how it is. I mean, it's difficult, right? But like he's a professional, so he's going to go out there and try to do what he can to win. But I mean, the dude was 0 for 20 until today, until he got a single today, right? And it came in clutch because it played it too, and that's how you tied the game. But you just don't have anybody hitting but Yordan. And Chris, I think I think it's both. You could Barry Bonds treatment him and walk him every single time, or to your point, cool, we'll pitch to him. They know what nobody's on base anyway, and if he does come up with people on base, then you obviously walk him, right? Because the guy behind him can't hit, So it's someone needs to protect Jordan. That's the thing. Somebody, like anybody, right?
Yeah,
Like, I just don't see it happen. But at least right now, I mean, look, it's been a terrible 2 weeks for this team. Like, it's been terrible ever since the Boston series. It's been just a terrible, terrible output of not effort, but output of results from your offense to your pitching for sure. And then you're going into a series with Cleveland starting tomorrow, 3-game series, right? And you only have one pitcher named right now. So, Bryce, who is going tomorrow? Who's going for this series?
That one pitcher named is Spencer Arrighetti, 1-0 with a 1.5 ERA, 10 strikeouts in his start. So, hey, that's a huge positive. He's going against Ciccone, who's 0-2 with a 5.03 ERA. Then we got our favorite pitcher, TBD, against Messick, 3-0 with a 1.05 ERA. Yeah, 3-0, so good luck with that. And then TBD again against Bibby, who's 0-2. He's been struggling with a 4.8. So it's going to be a little rough. But boys,
I'm going to say if he's struggling, this is the I've got the slump buster for him.
Yeah.
It's going to be this lineup. No, but we were talking about lineups. Right now, your best hitter outside of Jordan in this lineup is freaking Taylor Trammell. That's your second best hitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get into this next portion, which is going to be our predictions, let me go ahead and fling this up here. Again, I'm holding it down. Dude, this is like probably the most disgusting stand-ins so far in our 3-year history. I mean, we're like the SWAC. Each one of us has played, quality NCAA teams. And I am still in the lead with a 1-3 record, with Browse and PK both being 0-4. Because I guess we're just way too much. I guess we're giving the Astros way too much credit. Way too much credit. And to our deservance, this is what we get. So I don't know who wants to start, but who wants to start with the predictions?
I'll go. I'm going to go 2-1 this week. Cleveland's going to win the series.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1-2. Astros drop the series. They will win tomorrow with Arrighetti. He'll back up his next start. And that's it, dude. Like, until the Astros can prove that they can be consistent offensively to cover down for their pitching, I just don't see it. So 1-2, another series loss. And I think by the end of Cleveland, if that prediction goes right, 1-2, I think Espada is one step closer to being replaced by Omar Lopez, by the way.
All right, you want me to go next? I was also going to go 1-2 for Cleveland, mainly because, I mean, I agree with everything PK said. I mean, until this team can prove that they can get the offense and, clicking. I mean, because you're going to have to, because you've got, like we talked about earlier, you got Burrows, who really is not shown you anything outside of one pretty decent four and some change start. You got Arrighetti, who's had a fantastic start. Will he be able to replicate that? I hope so. But you got a bunch of TBDs, so that's going to be Lambert again, maybe Jason Alexander. And so far, every guy that we've called up, that were heroes from Sugarland last year, has not been able to replicate that. Colton Gordon, another one. I mean, so it could be Colton Gordon. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Cleveland. And again, hope I'm wrong, but I got a feeling I'm not going to be.
So our pitching staff this go around on the road trips pretty much going to be all AAA. And Chris, you just said that. It's Arrighetti's probably the only bright spot out of all of that. With that said, I want to go 1-2, but I think they get swept. I'm going 0-3. I don't want to do it, man, but I got to at least put a mark up on the board there. I'm 0-4. And right now, I don't see this team hitting their way to a win. I don't see them pitching their way to a win. They're on the road, which they've already proved that they are not good at playing. And unfortunately, we've got a really, really bad rotation right now. The guys that we need are hurt. The guys that we need aren't producing. And that's just the story of it. So I hate to say it, man. I think they're going to scrap it out. They're going to try to win some of these, but I think we take 3 losses on the road.
He's going reverse sweep. Okay, reverse sweep. It's also cold up there. It's also cold up there. I think today it was like 40-something degrees up in Cleveland. I think tomorrow, I think the high's supposed to be 50-something. But yeah, dude, look, man. Like I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I still have an offer in front of my name come Thursday, right? Because I hope that the Astros do win the series. I mean, obviously, right? We're here to support the Astros, but man, it's just a tough watch. Just a tough watch. So, all right. So we got 1-2, 1-2, and a reverse sweep for Riles and a reverse sweep. So we'll see. Look, tomorrow's a 5:10 first pitch. We'll be on for the recap. One of us will for sure, and hopefully we'll have a dub to come into that recap. But look, man,
prove me wrong, man. Please.
Yeah, dude, prove us all wrong. Look, I mean, it's early in the season, but goddamn, it's the end of April. It's the end of April. Like, you know what I mean? The good Lord, it feels like we've been watching this for like 4 months already, and that's not a good feeling in April. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, man, we appreciate the support. Follow us. We're on TikTok. We're on X. We're on Facebook, Instagram as well. So, thank you as always for tuning in. I'm PK, Homer Chris, Sweet Bee Bones Riles, and this is the Crawford Chronicles. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
I hate being negative Nancy, man.
I know, dude. You're like for real negative Nancy, but I mean,
yes, like for real.
But damn, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Pick sweeps?